Hello YouTube, it's your girl Keisha and Laundry, and I'm back with another video. I said I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to talk about how Umar Johnson saved my son. The school was trying to put my son in special ed, and at the time, this is when I lived in Pennsylvania. The school was trying to put my son in special ed. The thing was that my son was so smart that he would get bored in class and just act out. And I believe he was like in first or second grade. His father is sitting here off camera. This is the same one who said the poem, Message to the Nubian Women. This is Ali on the side. You can't see him, but he's present. But
hello, YouTubers.
Yeah, go ahead. You can say hi again. I'm sorry.
Hello, YouTubers.
They are my sun rays.
Oh, how you doing, sun rays? Greetings, sun rays.
Okay, so my son, this was Chester Upland School District, and at the time my son attended Main Street Elementary School in Upland, Pennsylvania. So he was probably, like I said, in first or second grade. He used to finish his work fast. Like even to this day, when his report cards have A's and B's on them, he's just always been a phenomenal student. He just have a problem with, like, you know, acting out. I mean, sometimes the work be too easy for him, or he finish it fast and he just act out in class. Some teachers know how to deal with that. Like he had one specific teacher who would give him extra things to do, like as far as like helping out in class or going to help other teachers. You have some teachers that's out here that really know how to deal with children who maybe a little hyperactive or maybe a little advanced. They can recognize that, and you know, they don't see it as a problem. They know how to nurture those kind of students. But Omar Johnson came to my house. I was living in the Carsby Square Apartments. The school, he was the school psychiatrist. Is it psychiatrist or psychologist? What is he? A psychologist?
Yes, psychologist.
I believe he's a psychologist. So they sent Umar Johnson to our house to talk to our son. And I believe really the school wanted Umar to agree in putting my son in special ed. But Umar he's really there to help the children. He explained to us, after he sat with our son, he explained to us that, of course, he let us know that will follow him the rest of his life. He told us that's not something you want to do. You don't want to agree to have your child put in special education. What you want to add, Ali?
Yeah, and he talked to us, explained to us how a lot of these young black children, they diagnose them with ADHD or having some type of behavioral problem, and to put them in special ed, the school get more money. The more students they put in there, the more money they get. But a lot of these children don't have behavioral problems. They just need teachers that understand them, and explain to us that 80% of the teachers are white women, and they look at our boys differently, and they don't have the patience with our boys, because when they look at their little white sons or white boys, they see their sons, they see their nephew, or they can relate to them. So he explained to us that a lot of young children, young boys didn't have a problem. It was just that they needed a different environment, or a better a teacher would understand that a child, especially a boy, can't sit in one chair for 8 hours.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the school was really pushing to put my son in special ed, and this is a child that, from the time he was like 4, maybe 5, his pastime would be to take a book, and he would have a notebook, and he would literally write the book, copy what was in the book and write it in a notebook. I mean, from the time he was like 3, he would like write on paper and put it in our neighbor's mailbox. And we actually remember the old couple that used to call Aline the mailman. Yeah. Because he would literally write and put things in the mailbox. And actually, when he was in kindergarten, he had this teacher named Miss Salmon. I'm going to call her out, a black lady. My son was smart. Like, mind you, we were older when we had him. So we took a lot of time with him. Ali was very great. Like, I give Ali all the props of why my son is an excellent reader. Ali did not play. Like when it came to reading with my son, every day he sat down with that boy and had him reading every single day. Ali is a great reader. So Miss Salmon, this specific teacher, you know how when the kids have report cards, you know, the big old report cards, and they have F. You know, when you're in kindergarten, you don't even have that many subjects. But this specific teacher took the bottom part of the border that was clear and wrote out her own little thing, which she had wrote like math F. You know, just wrote down, and everything was like F. And I went to the principal, and the crazy thing is that they had the alphabet down the bottom, and you have to circle the letters that my son needed work with. The girl had A. All of us have an A in the name. I'm telling you, our son knew how to spell all of our names by the time he was in kindergarten. All the letters he knew, this woman had on the paper that he didn't know. So you have, you know, so by the time he was in first grade and the school seeing this in his records, of course they're following it. But this is also the same teacher who my son took him. He made a mistake, and remember, he brought the little girl paper home. It was a spelling test, and the little girl had 2 words wrong on the test, and the teacher gave her an F, a big old fat F. I brought it to the principal's attention as we had a meeting with them, because I'm like, this lady is not for the kids. This lady is not for the kids, and my thing is, I'm never going to fail my son. I'm never going to fail him. I'm always going to be there fighting for him, and so is his father. We're never going to leave his side. I told my son, you know, no matter what you do, I'm never leaving. You know, I'm always be by your side. But I remember the principal asked her, well, how did you come to this conclusion? How is this an F? Because we showed them the little girl's paper. And how is this an F? And she pulled out this old grading scale. And remember, the principal was like, where did you get this from? Yeah. And the teacher couldn't even explain where she got it from. And also, I remember going through my apartment complex, because I lived in hood homes back then, the Carsby Squares apartments, and I went knocking on, you know, my friends and my neighbors' doors of the other kids that was in kindergarten in Miss Salmon class. And I remember knocking on my friend Lisa's door, and she was somewhat having the same problem. So now here go me and Lisa. We going to knock on another mother door. And that mom was like, she didn't have a problem. Miss Salmon was her teacher, the mother's teacher, and also her sister's teacher. Now, this little boy didn't go to pre-K. So once the kids went to pre-K, that was the only little boy that would still be out in the apartment complex. Remember, man, he would come knocking at the door, and you like, I'm in school, and you thinking, so should you be. And man didn't even know how to write his name. They would have a sign-in sheet in kindergarten for when you came in. You would have to write your name down. And in man's spot, it was always circles. Now, I know this for sure, because when I would bring my son in, you know, you put their book bag and their coat in their cubby, you kiss them goodbye, and you stand over top of them, you make sure they sign in, you making sure they have the routine of the morning routine for arrival. And so he knew where his spot was, but he didn't know how to write his name, so it was all circles. So when me and my friend Lisa went knocking on this other mom's door, she was like, oh, I don't have that problem. When she showed us the little boy report card who did not even go to pre-K, Miss Salmon graded him on the fact that she had his mother as a student and her sister as a student, which is man's aunt. So man had all A's. I could not believe it. It's no way that little boy was smart as my son. He didn't even have the pre-K foundation. So you have teachers out here that don't care. They do not care, you know, and they are setting our sons up for failure. And thank God Omar Johnson stepped in. Like, I believe the school district thought they were sending somebody who would take our son, you know, take our son down and have him be consider special ed. But thank God it was Umar Johnson that came to our house. I still thank God to this day that it was him that came to the house.
Yeah, Umar Johnson, he helped a lot of black children, and we got to give him his props on that, and parents. He got a parent program that he helped the parents, because a lot of times he's explained to us that it's not you know, you can't, it's no official diagnosis. It's the psychiatrist or whoever the therapist is, it's their personal opinion. So if you had 3 evaluations, you can get 3 different opinions. So it's really, so they know normally if the school want them to find the children having a behavioral problem, normally the therapist will, because there's more money involved. But Umar Johnson, me and my friend rode past the school in Wilmington, Delaware, where Omar Johnson and got the job. Got the school, the 2 schools at. And I seen him, and I said, "Wow!" Me and my friend was looking at him because my friend's a contractor, and he said, "What we could do with these buildings?" And then we found out that Umar Johnson already had bought them. But a lot of people talking bad about Umar Johnson. But what are they doing? What are they doing to help the youth? He got a 20-year track record. Now, I don't know if he lied about his credentials or not, but guess what? The work that he put in, and I heard a lot of his videos are following. Everything he said is thorough about behavior and the children behavior and how they plotting against our children and how it's a school to prison pipeline. That could be proven. It's been proven by Michelle Alexander, another brother named Paul Butler, who used to be a DA. So Umar Johnson is one of the baddest brothers out there when it comes to helping our children, especially our black boys.
So we fully support Umar Johnson. We know what good he is for our youth, for the black boys, and it's awesome that he also want to start a school for the girls too. This guy is a heaven sent. He really is. It's easy to speak against someone when you don't understand what they're doing, or it's easy to speak against someone when you don't understand. When people don't understand stuff, they tend to brush it off as crazy or, talk down on it. But us personally, he helped our son. He saved our son from, being labeled as, special ed, because he said once they're in special ed, he said that's it. He'll be in special ed throughout his whole school, throughout the whole school, schooling, from the time he was in that first, I can't remember if he was in first or second grade.
I think it was first grade.
So up until now, right now he's in 11th grade, and he's still bringing home phenomenal grades. He's still bringing home great grades, and he still act a fool in class from time to time. But that's not to say that he needs special education, But you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we should support Umar Johnson and all the people that got the naysayers. Make them put up or shut up. What you doing? Do something equivalent to what the brother doing, or something better. If you can do better than what he's doing, then bring it. But don't try to tear the brother down, and you're not doing nothing to help our children and parents.
Right. So I'm going to end on that note. As I said, the son that I had the mukbang with, he'll be 17 soon. And that was when they was really pushing Ritalin. They remember them years ago when they was trying to put every kid on Ritalin. You do something, remember everybody was on Ritalin. And Ritalin was the cure all for our kids. But thank God my son never had to get on Ritalin. He's never taken some kind of depression medicine or whatever, overactive medicine, whatever it is. He never had to take that. Our son's problem, and it's not even a problem, our son is just smart. When you have older parents anyway, you tend to be a little bit smarter than other kids because of our patience and our know-all, So, we just asked everybody to support Umar in his school down in Delaware. It's going to be a very good thing. That's the only thing that make me wish that I was back up north, but I'm not moving back up there. But definitely, if I was in that area, we will be right in line, in that sign-up line, to put my son into that school, because I know it ain't going to be nothing but excellence that come from that school. Nothing but excellence. So, anything else? All right, he's done. I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity.